Hey guys, it's Kelsey, and I know that January is almost over. Actually, it might be over by the time I post this, but I still wanted to do a 2016 recap. It was really hard for me to do it like right when the year started because I was in Israel, but that was worth it, so I'm just gonna post this a bit late. So I went through my mom's calendar and old videos and pictures and stuff and figured out the major events of 2016 just like I did for 2015. So finally we will get an updated year recap video. So 2016 had lots of new things in it, and it was actually a pretty hard year, especially the way it ended. So this is going to be interesting. So I'm going to start out in January, where January is actually not, oh no, February. We don't have anything in February. Nothing happened in February. That's a boring month. Alright, so in January, I don't know if I said this in my last video about December, but it turned out that some friends of ours that visited Shemaima Noga, they visited their mom, who is one of our close friends, in December, and they ended up staying with her. So that's a big thing that happened in January, because they ended up going to our homeschool co-op with us and becoming a big part of our lives. So that was really awesome that that happened. I went to my friend Micah's 19th birthday. I think it was 19th. Yeah, I think so. So I think this year he turned 20, which is really weird. But I got to hang out with their family. They're like one of my favorite families. Naomi is like my best friend. And so that was really awesome. We did a fun photo shoot. He had a really, really fun party where we did like you guys know the name like Mafia, where you sit in a circle and it's like there's 3 Mafias and a cop and whatever. Micah has like a weird brain and figured out a way to like make it like a live version where like you're actually walking around a party and there's actually 3 like mafias and you don't know who they are, and there's actually a cop and a nurse and whatever, and it's like having a party, but there's 3 like fake murderers walking around, and like people get murdered in the middle of the party, and it was like so crazy. It was so much fun, and it had like a really fun twist at the end, so that was really fun. I went to a debate tournament. I think that was in Indiana. And our friend Sebeth visited, so that was really fun because we hadn't seen them in a while, and they stayed for, I think, almost like a week. They stayed for a while, and we got to see Kinsley, and she's so cute, and that was fun. So like I said, like nothing happened in February. In March, my grandparents had their 50th anniversary. My grandma and grandpa, they were married for 50 years. I made a really long documentary about it, which I'll link somewhere if you guys want to check it out. It's about their story and about staying married for 50 years, which is a really huge accomplishment. And then I had another debate tournament in March, not anything important. In April, my mom and I did a crop for CareNet, which is where we just went to a thing our aunt set up, like this really huge like convention center thing. I think she just helped set it, I don't know. Our aunt invited us, my aunt, her sister, my mom's sister, whatever. We went to a crafting thing which raised money for CareNet. A friend of ours, Aryeh, came from Israel and did a bunch of teachings at our church Crossroads. He did, the 2 that I went to were the Women of the Bible and the Hidden Face of God, which were like mind-blowing. Anything that comes out of Aryeh's mouth is like, whew. And then Naomi visited again, which was really awesome. Got to see her like twice in a row, which usually doesn't happen. And then my parents did a re-family conference, which is a new thing that they came up with, where they like have couples of families come, and it's like 3 days of like a workshop thing about family. In May, my parents went to Israel without us. Kind of upset about that. But they went because we had to get rid of our apartments that we had there. We had been going there on and off for about 2 years, but it had been a year. Like a year from May of 2015 was the last time we had been there. So we were just like throwing money away at this apartment that we didn't use. And so we had to give that up. So they went there to pack up all of our stuff because we had like, you know, furniture and clothes that we left there. So they went to pack up all of our stuff. It was a really short, busy trip, but they were gone. We finished Great River Learning, which is the co-op that we did, which was really, really fun. Great River Learning ended, which was sad, but you know, it's school, so kind of happy, kind of, you know, bittersweet. And then I helped set up an event. I have a friend that owns an event planning company, mostly like weddings and corporate events, and I did school for event planning, so I went and I go and help her set up her events sometimes, so I did that in May. In June, we had a 13th birthday party, which is something that my grandma and grandpa do. Every time one of the grandkids turns 13 or multiple, there's 22 of us. So sometimes there's a few that turn 13 at the same time. So in this case, Benjamin, Geneva, and my sister Sydney all turned 13. So we had a 13th birthday for them. It's like a coming of age thing. I had another event I helped set up, and then my grandpa had his Hope Family reunion, which we all went to. It was like a 1 or 2 nights staying somewhere north in Ohio, and it was actually really fun because my grandpa wanted to stay longer on the day it ended, and so I stayed with him, and my mom had to get my grandma and the kids back home, so she went ahead and I stayed behind with my grandpa, and we didn't want him driving for like 5 hours, so I only had my permit. But I like that it's legal. It's just that I wasn't like, you know, a fully licensed person. And I drove us all the way 5 hours or however long that was, 4.5 hours back home, which was really fun. I got to like, you know, talk with him that whole drive, and he fell asleep at some parts, which made me feel like super grown up, like I was driving all by myself, you know, which at the time was new. In June, oh no, that was June. In July, I got my driver's license. In Kentucky, you have to have like a restricted driver's license before you have your full. So I'm actually next week sometime going to go get my full license, but in July is when I got my restricted. I went to Young Life Camp, which was really, really fun. I've been going to Young Life for a while. I've been a Christian my entire life, but because I decided, well, I was thinking about going to public school, and all of the Young Life people go to the public school Highlands that I would go to. And so I wanted to kind of feel it out and see if these are the kind of people I like, you know, want to hang out with and whatever. And I went to Young Life Camp, was blown away, had such a fun time. I took Shamai, my friend, and at the end decided that I was going to go to public school. So that was cool. And then at the end of July, first of all, I turned 17. First of all, I flew all by myself to Seattle to cabin lead for a girls' camp at the camp we go to, Lakeside. And that was awesome. First time I've flown alone, which was pretty cool. In August, my family joined me at camp and we did TCO, which is, we did the same thing last year, but this year was like 50 billion kajillion times better. Like, the first TCO was fun, but had a really hard things, and it was the first time my parents had directed, so it was kind of clunky. This time, my dad like ran a fine-tooth comb through all of his teachings and all of his strategies with the kids, and now there's just like, oh my gosh, it was so much fun and met so many cool new people and made so many amazing friends. It was definitely a highlight, maybe the highlight. And then we came home, and like the next day or something, I think we came home on Sunday, and on Monday I started school. Went to Highlands. I had missed the first 3 days of school, so it was like everyone had already had like their warm-up days, you know, and like that was, all right, we're getting into school, and I had missed that, and it's the first time I've been in public school since 7th grade. So that was really hard. The first week was really hard, but it's cool now, you know, it's school. So that was an adventure. My grandma had her first knee surgery. She had to have one of her like knees redone because they've been really bad. In September, I took my cousin Annabelle out for her 17th birthday. First time I've been able to take a friend out for her birthday, and that was so much fun because I could, you know, drive by myself, and I couldn't believe her parents actually let me do that because I didn't think they would. My mom's sister, Amber, and her husband Stefan, and their baby Rye came to visit in September, which was really fun. They came to help with my grandma's surgery and everything. And then I went to homecoming, which was, I didn't think I would. I had thought of it when I decided to go to school, but I was like, oh, I'm not going to do that. Like, dances, what? No one would ask me. And no one did ask me, but I went with all of my girlfriends from Young Life, and that was super fun. We all got ready together, and we had dinner at someone's house, and then we went to the dance. It ended at like midnight or something, and then we went back to our house, changed because, you know, no one can walk anymore in their shoes, and like my dress was giving me like rashes like on my arms, and we changed and then went out to UDF, and I swear we were like, they thought we were drunk or something. We weren't, but like they probably thought, because we're so loopy and we're so tired and like our feet hurt and everyone's like stumbling around. And we're trying to figure out, like, all right, I wanted a milkshake. Does anyone else want a milkshake? We're gonna get chips. Like, trying to decide who was getting what, and it was really funny. There was only 2 people working there, and it was like 2 in the morning. And we rolled up, like, blasting our music out of the car in, like, the middle of the night. And so they probably thought we were crazy. But it was amazing. It was so much fun. I helped with another event, another wedding. In October, they started building our addition, which is crazy. So, like, the whole back of our house is a construction zone right now. Literally, like, outside my window is, like, another house being built attached to my house. It's insane. We had another Sukkot, which is the festival that we do every year. We went to the Renaissance Festival, which was really fun. We hadn't done that in a while. We all dressed up like old-fashioned, and it's amazing. And I took my brother and I to LARP, which is his little obsession with, like, dressing up old-fashioned, getting to go to a house in the woods and sword fight for like 2 days. And we took a tent and we slept in these people's yard, and like there was probably 30 other kids there that were all dressed up and total geeks. And I was like, I'm not the kind of person that would go to this kind of thing. I think I would have if I was like 10, but now I'm like, oh no, I'm too cool for that. But I got there and actually had a really fun time. My brother helped me put together a costume and stuff like that, so it was pretty great. And thus ends the highlights. The next month is November, and everything is normal. We have 3 birthdays in November. November 21st was my sister Elisa's 11th birthday, and she was begging us to watch Star Trek, and like we watched all the Star Treks, like all 7 seasons or whatever, and she wanted to rewatch her favorite episodes, so we did, and we were all very tired at the end, and Dad was like, oh my gosh, guys, it's so late, go to bed. It's like, and then he pulled out his phone and it's like 8:20. So we're kind of laughing about that. I go upstairs, we're having like some sort of kerfuffle in the hallway where like my mom was trying to tell someone what to do. She couldn't find her phone. I was going to take a shower. Someone else needed to brush their teeth before I did. It was just like kind of crowded and whatever. My mom finds her phone. Everything's sorted out. I close the bathroom door. And then I hear my mom scream, and she's just like, Mom, no! She starts screaming. She started screaming, and I opened the door, and she ran upstairs, and all 5 of us, of the kids, are standing in the hallway like, what just happened? I know my Aunt Jan's been sick, my mom's aunt, my great aunt. So I was like, oh no, did something happen to Aunt Jan? She said, screamed Mom, and so I knew she was talking to my grandma, so there couldn't be anything like, I didn't think there was anything wrong with my grandma, but like, what happened? And it didn't take me very long to figure out that my mom would only scream like that if something happened to her dad. So that's the night he died, and we got in the car. My mom was like wailing the whole way, and we got in the car and drove to their house, which is only like 30 minutes away, and there's like police and the coroner are all there, and my aunt and some of my cousins, and it was just like the kind of thing you never think is actually going to happen, you know, where like you always think, well, when one of our grandparents dies, this is going to have to happen, but like it doesn't really hit you what that's going to be like when it actually does. And he had been upstairs in his study writing birthday cards, and my grandma went to the grocery store, and she came back and called his name. He didn't answer, and apparently he had gotten cold. He gets cold a lot, and he went down to their bedroom and went into their closet to get dressed, and my grandma walked into their room and found him lying halfway in their closet and halfway in the bathroom, just lying there. And the coroner said that he probably was gone before he hit the floor. We were all really worried that he had like fallen and was trying to get his phone, get help or something like that. But the coroner was like, no, he probably died before he even fell. Yeah, and so that was crazy. That was right before Thanksgiving. The funeral was the day after Thanksgiving. So the holidays this year were just really hard. we had some fun moments, mostly with my dad's side of the family, but everyone was hurting. Like my grandpa was really good friends with my other grandparents, and you know, it's just everyone came into town for, not for the holidays, but for a funeral. Like that's not what you really want that time of the year, think that time of the year is going to be about. And it was also really sad it happened on my sister's birthday, and my mom hasn't really been the same since then. It's January 24th and she's still, you know, has a hard time, like cries at some point almost every day. So it's very understandable and really hard on everybody, just because that we were so close. That was the same grandpa that we went to the reunion with, and he had his 50th anniversary, and you know, so my grandma had a knee surgery planned for later that month, and we decided for her to go ahead and have, or she decided that she was gonna go ahead and have it anyways. So it was just really hard, especially for my grandma. I can't imagine her just like walking around our house alone anymore, so I went over and stayed the night with her one weekend just because I didn't want her to be alone. So yeah, that was November. That was pretty awful. We had an amazing service though, like an amazing funeral. It was really special to see how many people came. Even if they didn't really know my grandpa that well, if they knew us, they came like to support us, and all of my cousins and aunts and uncles all spoke, and my grandma had a really beautiful speech. She had her pastor read because she couldn't get up there and say it. So I videotaped all of the speeches, so I will be posting that on my family's channel. So if I get that up, I might link that somewhere on the screen if you guys are curious to see that. Okay. In December, like I said, the holidays were all pretty sad. My grandma had her second knee surgery. I took the ACT, got a 25 average, which is pretty. I think that's actually what my mom got when she took the ACT, so that's kind of fun, and we got the same score. I hosted a Christmas party for my Young Life girlfriends, and that was fun. I think that's like the kind of something that's been hard for me to feel out, because I have one class where one of the girls is one of the girls that I'm close with from Young Life is in my class, and there's two other girls that I know that are in that class, but that's it. I don't really see them at school, which is kind of what I was hoping for. So it's been an interesting experience to feel out and whatever, and I'm so busy all the time that I don't make it to a lot of the Young Life like meetings, so it's hard to connect, you know. I went to new school, new people, especially in the city I live in, where everyone has known each other since they're like 2, or whenever they started school, you know, everyone's known each other forever. So it's just something that's interesting to kind of learn how to navigate. And so I offered to host a Christmas party, which was really fun because they all got to come into our house to kind of feel comfortable in my house and bring food, and we all talked and exchanged presents and stuff. So that was really fun. And then at the end, we went to Israel, me and my sister and my parents. And so that was really awesome. I made a whole video of what I called Lizreals, like Israel vlogs, where I did a 1-minute Instagram video a day of like whatever we did. So I put all of the Lizreals together into like a 6 or 7 minute video, which I can also link for you guys if you want to see that. That was really fun. So yeah, that was my year. I didn't think I would cry telling a camera about my grandpa, but I guess I did. So I hope you guys liked hearing about that year. I'm pretty sure I'm posting this on both of my channels, so if you're on Kelsey Joy, then go check out AKA Beauty. If you're on AKA Beauty, go check out Kelsey Joy. AKA Beauty, I do a lot of beauty videos, obviously. And then Kelsey Joy is my name, and that's where I do my guitar videos. So I haven't done guitar videos in a while, but I thought that I would do kind of like an end of the year, like what's everything that, like, alright, by the end of the year, what did you accomplish kind of thing. So my whole family is red belts in Taekwondo, and my parents actually decided to quit Taekwondo just because my my mom's nervous about becoming a black belt, and my dad's too busy and he hurt his back, and my mom just, I don't think, is emotionally like able to do it, so they're gonna quit, but us kids are gonna hopefully keep going. But we're all red belts. I reached 600 subscribers on Kelsey Joy. I reached 60 subscribers on AKA Beauty. I went to 2 debate tournaments. I helped with 3 events. I did 3 camps. Young Life, I'm counting cabin leading, and TCL as 2 different camps. I turned 17, and guess what, guys? Trump's president. Well, let's just say the next 4 years are going to be interesting. So I hope you guys like this video. Make sure you subscribe, like, and comment down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.